Good morning. Today is a studio day. It's still a bit early and I still haven't had my morning coffee, and I think I want some breakfast. I feel like some eggs, some bacon and green smoothie and coffee. Then we're gonna work on a track. I got a pretty cool riff slash chord progression going on in my head, and I was playing with the guitar all yesterday. I want to do something epic, and by that I don't mean I want to do something bigger than life. That'd be very presumptuous of me, but by epic I mean like sound wise, something big. I want to do something pretty fast tempo, pretty kicking, and I want to build it around a guitar riff, and I want to try a different type of dynamics for the chorus parts of it. I want to go from pretty kicking verse into more of a mellow chorus line. Then the chorus then has some sort of punchline that ends up going back into the original riff with really big sound at that point. So that's my sonic vision for today, and that's before I even had a coffee. So let's see what happens when I get a coffee into me. I shall talk to you guys later. Okay, in typical fashion, it's a studio day, and obviously somebody started doing building work somewhere in the block that I live in. I don't know where. Is it downstairs, upstairs? I don't know. I get just hearing a kind of elemental noise. But it's a good opportunity to talk about something. If you record at home, if you've got a home studio, I know a lot of people get very kind of wrapped up around the idea of, like, you know, the sound isolation and that kind of stuff. It's not really a viable option in most places that you live in. Like, you just don't have a chance to do that. And the only way to, you know, if you want a really well isolated quiet room where you can make noise any hour of the day, or the street outside won't make any noise, or the nature outside won't make any noise, then you're gonna have to go into a professional studio, and that's one of the things that you pay for in a professional studio. But having said that, people get too wrapped. Can you hear that? That could be a little bit problematic today. But yeah, people get too wrapped up about kind of noise isolation, because most of music that we do these days, obviously it has an Canon, what are you doing to me? Hold on, I'm gonna have to put some light. Better. Yeah, it seems like if I'm in a situation there's a low light, more light behind and in front, the Canon gonna start struggling with the autofocus. That's not good. Anyway, so yeah, sound isolation. Most of the time you can work around these issues, and you really can. Like, I mean, most of the time if you do a vocal take, even if you're in the most kind of perfectly isolated sound booth, the singer still makes noise. So, and you do end up kind of chopping the empty spaces between the lines. And most of the normal background noise of any house or apartment, you can get rid of most of it that way. If you live in a very noisy environment, I would recommend that you seriously consider using dynamic microphone instead of a condenser microphone. That would make a big difference, you know. If you're recording something like drums are so loud by nature that unless you're doing really subtle stuff, most of the time the background noise is not gonna be that big of a problem. Acoustic guitar can be a little bit tricky, but again, I would recommend that just go as close to the microphones as you can. The biggest problem you're gonna have is the kind of noise I'm having today, which is kind of an element noise, which means that they're banging somewhere on a concrete or something in the building, and that noise vibrates through kind of everything. Microphones and microphone stands, and that picks everything picks that up. That is a problematic thing, and for that I really don't have any solutions, except like you can mount everything on sponges, but that's not ideal. So my takeaway here is that, listen, unless it's really problematic, just try to work around it, because to me it again becomes like one more excuse not to do something, whereas you could be doing something. So yeah, that's a little bit about sound isolation. But now on to today's track. Talk to you in a bit. Alright, check out this riff that I'm working the song around. It's a bit of a stretch, but still. Now don't forget my guitar isn't that good, as always. What do you think? I like it. I'm going for the first rough take of the guitar. The guitar's got everything's built around the guitar a lot today, so I'll have to get that down before I start working on any beats or anything like that. So. That's the first take. Have a listen to it. Okay, it's 10:30 and we have the first draft of the guitar structure down and guide vocal down. Now we're gonna get into the rhythm parts, which is basically the beats. Logic Pro X is fantastic. They have this great drum track editor system, which is a very, very fast way of making beats, but it's very kind of, it's not like you just pick up a preset and do something with it. It's more you kind of alter it, and the variations are just endless. It depends on how much of one parameter affects the other, and it's pretty cool. And there's loads and loads of stuff in it. It's a package that will get you wherever you need to go in the beginning parts of your music creation. So I usually use that. I kind of get an idea of where I'm going to go with it, and then once I have some sort of idea, there's two options that happens. That sometimes I punch in the beats after it, like I program something similar to that and kind of edit the sounds myself, or sometimes I even use the ones that are there. But even at that, I kind of end up tweaking some of the EQs, some of the filters, some of the sounds I actually replace completely. So it never kind of ends up being what it was originally. But the new drummer track is very, very good for getting the initial idea down really, really fast. So that's what I'm going to do next. My head is melting. I'm trying to find sounds for over the guitar, kind of higher pitch synth sounds, and I wanted something with a movement. Just going through the sounds here, and it's just, my head is melting now. So I'm going to take a quick break, grab another coffee, and get a bit more focused again, because I'm just running in circles right now. Another day in the studio. Okay, it's going pretty well. The track is kind of coming together. Once again, I've gone through the process of the self-doubt and all that crap. There was moments there I was thinking that no, this is not gonna ever work, and now it's starting to work really nicely. So whenever you're doing this kind of stuff, just stick with it. It'll come together eventually. Anyway, so we have vocal, we have a backing vocal, we have a guitar. I recorded with the two microphones in front of the guitar, one facing the neck around about the 12th fret, and another one facing the body just behind the bridge. The body side of it, not the string side, but on the body side of it. These are actually Octavia MK112A, great mics. So yeah, I have the guitar, and then those guitar signals are both left and right. Then I split I copied the channels. I made two identical channels, drilling going on, not helpful for recording. And I sliced a couple of the verses of the guitars and put them down because I wanted to put a filter on the guitar where it kind of does a sweep where the frequency is going to go up and down. And I'll solo it for you, and I'll give you a quick sample. So you can blame it on the game, you can blame it on the greed of human race. So if I play that to you again, I'm gonna mute the vocals so you can hear it better, and the guitar kind of goes in and out. Here. Woody brightens up. A bit brittle, almost too bright. Almost like a telephone speaker. Let's warm up again. So that's the verses, the guitar. So to do that effect, I have to have them on a separate tracks than the actual guitar. Then we have the drum tracks. We have several different synths here. We have moving synth sound. So I'll solo them for you individually so you get some sort of idea what's going on. Actually, hold on. Battery's dying. I'm going to change the battery first. I'm back. So I was talking about the synths. There's one that kind of goes on the kind of riff It's not really riff, it's just notes, but it has a pulsating kind of gate thing going on in it, so it sounds like, I'll solo it for you guys, so it sounds like this. And it works on its own. It doesn't really make much sense, but it's meant to work with the guitar. So I put the guitar in there so you get an idea of what's going on there as well. Here's the thing that I've kind of discovered in the past few months. A lot of the stuff, especially on the electronic dance music side, the chord elements of the song, they're usually left very simple because there's so many, it can be have a lot of things going on and the build-ups and that kind of stuff. So if you have like a 3 or 4 instruments playing the chords, it can get very messy. And when you put an acoustic guitar into a song, it takes a lot of room as a chords wise. So if I use anything on top of that, the most I would put like 3-note chords, like a piano thing or something on other keyboard sound, but more often I actually end up just doing the 2 chords, like the 1st and the 5th, or then I back down on the chords on the guitars, just not to fill the spectrum too much, because then if you do too much there, then first of all there's no room for the vocals, which is very vital. The vocals has to stand out, and then the other, you can't add anything else. This part, take all the solos off. Here's where the drums kick in as well. We have a small sweep there. There we go. Did you hear it? I bet you didn't. So if I play a solo for you, it sounds like this. That's it. It doesn't sound much like there, but I put it in another part of the song as well, where it just adds a little bit kind of warmth to the lift and kind of something's coming, kind of anticipation. And the other part of the song, there's actually everything else cuts out so you can hear more obviously. This is going from the first verse into the first instrumental break. Worry about tomorrow. There. So yeah, what else? Then I've got the bass here, which is at the moment only in the... It's a little bit tricky because there's a chorus. The kind of punchline of the chorus actually continues into the melody part, so it's hard to say which one is the actual real chorus. But in the chorus, I put a pretty heavy bass into it. Nothing behind. Verse, chorus. You're just one soul wondering what to do. Hit the bass. Solo the bass. Synth bass this time. Nice. Simple but powerful. One step at a time. Impossible is just a word in your mind. Nothing's impossible. Impossible. And that's what I mean, impossible. That's kind of continuation to the from the chorus to the melody part, instrumental part. It's hard to say which one is chorus, which one is not. The only other thing I put here, there is a very highly edited backing vocal track here. You're just one soul wondering what to do. It's hard to hear on its own, but it's there again, filling space, giving kind of warmth. And this is spread out really, really wide like stereo. I'll give you a quick solo of it. You're just one soul wondering what to do. It's too late until we hear the last breath out of you. And that's it's very typical of kind of EDM style backing vocals. And that's what I like, mixing that, having like a pretty straightforward, punchy vocal, and then that kind of edited vocal with it. You're just one soul wondering what to do. It ain't too late until we hear the last breath out of you. You can climb a mountain one step at a time. a secret. That high voice is me singing as well. I can sing very high if I need to on my head voice, like ridiculously high. It's crazy, but I don't really like using it because it sounds silly to me. Some people are brilliant at it, but it works really well sometimes on the backing vocals like that. I'm much more comfortable singing in my lower register than in my higher register. So yeah, it's coming together. The only thing is that the instrumental part, I'm still thinking of putting, especially later on in the song, a bit of more bottom end, probably some sort of different kind of bass, not the similar bass that was there, maybe more kind of like a pumping, some sort of rhythmic bass into it as well. So that's where this week's song is so far. I'm not gonna tell you more about it because you're gonna hear it on Friday when it's all out and finished and done and dusted and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of a run through of this stuff. Let me know if there's anything more about the studio stuff you want me to talk about or show you, or share with you guys. I mean, I'm pretty passionate about this stuff, so I'll talk for hours about it. So just ask me, and if you've any problems, we'll tackle them here in the vlog gladly and see if I can help you in any way possible. So there we go. Now I gotta run. I got a few more things to do. Take a little bit of a break from this because it's starting to also the same, and that's the time you need to walk away. Come back later. Look at this. Stuck in the studio all day on a sunny day. Let's try to get outside tomorrow. I know those dreams we left behind. I put up a damn good fight, but no one warned us about the time. What's become of you